Hello, everyone. I'm Joel Youngblood with bigleaguecoaching.pro. We're going to work on 3 different actions: hand action, hand position, and drills. These all come together to help control the responsibility you have to use your hands correctly. There's one thing I'd like to explain to you, that baseball will never miss fundamentals, but it will miss the communication of fundamentals. And that's the barrier I'm going to try to break for you today, the comprehension, understanding of what quick hands really means. So let's get right into it. Number one, I really believe that hand action, or the hitting process, is quite similar in a lot of other things we do. So we have to really identify what actions actually happen in order to complete something. So for instance, hammering a nail. I have a hammer right here. This part right here is the flat surface of the hammer. If you look at the handle, it's narrow and it's wider. So the hand is positioned in this way to control the head, the flat surface of the hammer. So if I was hammering a ball or hammering a nail in this way, I would be hammering it this way. If I was hammering a ball or nail, I would be hammering it this way. So look at the action of the hand. The hand's going to do this. Look how the hand starts at this position. Look at the top of the hammer. If I just use my wrist, look how far I can move the hammerhead in order to get to the target that I'm trying to control with force, quickness, and controllability. So this is really something that's very, very similar. I call this a hitting process. I call this driving the nail. I think it's very similar to baseball. Baseball, you want to drive the ball. Same concept, except the hammer has a flat head where the bat has a round head. But when you position your hands, you're positioning your hands to control one part of the bat, which is the flat surface. Theoretically, this is where the flat surface is. So if you look at this, if I turn, I've lost the flat surface. And if I turn this way, I've lost the flat surface. So I have to control the flat surface. I have to control it. Control, not turn, and not over. There's one of the coaches in San Francisco when I played for the Giants was named Jose Morales. And he was, I think, the second best pitch hitter in the history of baseball. I believe Lenny Harris is number 1 right now. But he taught me something that made a lot of sense. And actually, I have to give credit to Jose Morales for really, really educating me on the swing path, the hand action, and the controllability that I had with the bat head. And so if I just take this bat, and this is what he showed me. He said, Joel, if I was going to hit the ball back at you, I would have to hit it in this position. It would have to be square. So if I'm going to hit the ball to center field, if I was in this position, the ball is going to go that direction. If I was in this position, the ball is going to go that direction. So this is where I would hit a ball to center field. This is where my bottom hand belongs. I didn't put my hand on the bat this way. I put it on this way. Okay? He told me, he said, also, Joel, if I was going to hit the ball away, he said, where would you hit it to hit it to right field? I said, I would have to hit it right here. He said, okay, put your bottom hand on. That's where your hand belongs. So now, look at this position. Away, middle, in. In, middle, away. in, middle, away. So if you understand your hands, each hand complements the other hand. So if the top hand is moving in this direction, then the bottom hand has to move in the same direction. Therefore, both hands are moving the bat in the same direction. So that was, I felt, a reality that I was able to understand where the location of the bottom hand would be at point of contact in reference to the location of the ball. If the ball's away, if it's down the middle, or if it's inside. I see, I understand, and I know the position my hands need to be in. Now all I have to do is try to practice controlling those positions with the quick hands. There are other actions that are very similar. And we have fishing. If this was a fishing rod, and I was in a boat, and there was a tree above me, and I had to throw the lure in that direction, I would throw it this way. The reason I say a tree is so I'm not throwing the line this way. I'm throwing it this way. I have obstruction. I have to get the lure. I have to throw the tip of the rod to get the lure to go in the direction I need to go. What controls the tip of the rod? My hands. My hands control the tip of the rod. I'm throwing it. I'm throwing this part of the bat, which is leverage at the bottom, to create speed and direction. What's another one? Golf. Same thing. If you watch golf on TV, the professionals at point of contact, their hands are in this position. And then they rotate and come through. Another one, chopping wood. So if you have an axe, therefore you have a cutting surface on the axe. That is your hitting surface. Because if you turn that a little bit, you will not cut the tree, or you will not split the wood the way you could do it if you correctly controlled the axe head. And so if I was going to cut a tree, I would throw the head to drive it through. I'm not thinking about following through. I'm thinking about driving through. I would go an uppercut, an overcut. Why? Because I'm trying to create a wedge in the tree, so when I cut the other side, I know where it's going to fall. But the axe head has to be going down straight or straight up. What controls that sharp edge of an axe? Your hands. So these are all different actions that I relate to of something that you might have done or can do or enjoy doing, so you can connect the same technique to your baseball swing. Quick hands throwing a rod, quick hands in golf, quick hands in driving a nail, quick hands in chopping a tree. It's all relative, it's all the same. We have to understand what the hands can do. If this was a club and I was going to come up and I was going to hit somebody, am I going to hit them this way? No. I'm going to have my hand in this position and I'm going to hit. It's a hit. See the bat coming at you? That's a hit. This is not a hit. This is away from you. I have to go to you. See the bat hit coming towards you? That's controlled by your hands, and predominantly your top hand. I believe the difference between the top hand and the bottom hand is this. The bottom hand is like, I would say first gear. It gets you started. The top hand's like passing gear. It passes your bottom hand in order to get the top hand or the accuracy hand to the location of what you're trying to hit. So we just still have to try to relate to some of these actions so we really comprehend what we're trying to teach you as a hitter in order to be a very, very aggressive hitter that can wait and has quick hands. There's another object I like to use that makes a lot of sense, and it is a flashlight. Well, everybody would ask me, why do you want to use a flashlight? Well, the reason why is because I can hold the flashlight with two hands. This is the same as a bat, okay? It's maybe not as long, but it's the same as the bat. If I turn the flashlight on, now, if I was going to point this light at you or put the light on you, I would have to do this. I would have to use my hands to control the direction of the flash to make it point in this direction. So let's look at the tee. If I was going to hit this ball right here, I would have to have the light on the ball right here. And let me show you what that would look like. See the light on the ball? I can't be in this position. Now the light's here. If my hands were in a different position, look at the angle of the bat versus the angle of the bat. If you want to hit every pitch the opposite field, then drag your hands through like a ping pong paddle and cut it to the opposite side. If I want to do a kill shot, then hit it so you drive it to this side. But if I want to just hit it straight, this is direction I want to hit it. I want to control it. And this is no different if I stand up the low pitch. Point the light at the low pitch. This is where it is. I can't reach the low pitch. The light will not be in my strike zone if I try to hit the low pitch here. This is the only place I can put the flashlight in the strike zone. So I really would like you to play around with the flashlight, turn it on, and just use both hands with it, not one, both hands, and point at different things in the house or in the cage or on the floor. Just point at it, assuming low pitch, point it down. Now evaluate your hand position. So look at my hand position. I'm gonna point this light on the ground right here. Now look at my hand position. See my hand position? Same thing here. This is the way you control your hands in order to wait longer and be quicker than most hitters. I also like to consider the backhand. If you look at the backhand, the bottom hand and the back of the bottom hand. So if I would take this tee again, and I'm going to move it to you, and let's say that I want to backhand this stick. I would go, that's a backhand. Okay, now look at this action. Look at my elbow. My elbow is direction for my hand to follow. So this is outside, this is inside, this is up, this is down, this is up and away. So now my elbow is direction for my hand to follow. So I'm going to hit this inside pitch. I'm going to set my elbow and I'm going to throw my hand this way. If the ball's here, I'm going to get my elbow so my hand, when I throw it, comes through. If the ball is over here, here. So if I was going to sit here, away, low and in, up and away, up and in, down the middle, low in the middle, away. That's the action. So if I'm understanding what my bottom hand or elbow that controls my hand responsibility is, then I complement it with my top hand. This is the hammer action. My elbow, see, direction, hammer, direction, hammer. So when we talk about elbows, we're talking about a triangle. So both, triangle means what? If I'm in this position, then if I let my hand go, it's going in this position. This position. Where's my strike zone? My strike zone's below my eyes and away from me. Below my eyes and away. Home plate is over here. So I have to position my elbows in a position where my hands My elbows can throw my hands through the ball. Through the ball. So this is very, very important. Another one. Frisbee. Talking about the bottom hand again. Take a Frisbee. If I was going to throw with my left hand, I would sit in this position and I would get my elbow and I would throw. Throw. See the elbow? Pointing? Pointing where? This is where I want to throw the ball. Or the Frisbee. Throw it. Throw it. Same action, different sport, different object, exactly the same action. So we've taken about 6 or 7 different actions and looked at them with the top hand, the bottom hand, and now we're going to go with both hands. So hammering, chopping, golf, Frisbee, backhand, flashlight, all very, very similar in the action to create quickness, power, and control. So let's go to both hands. And both hands now we use in both. So this is where Jose Morales told me to hit the ball. This is my bottom hand. So if we just look at this tee here, and this, now I'm going to use both hands. This is a middle pitch. I'm hitting this ball to center field. I'm going to, now, this is the way I explain to it. If my hands are in this close to the strike zone, then I know this bat's going to be in the strike zone. I can't have my hands here and try to hit it. I have to set my hands, remember the elbow? Set my hands relatively close so I understand that the hitting surface of the bat is in the path of the ball. So if I set my hand, if I set my elbow here, I know when I transition, look at the bat going to the strike zone. So now we're going to take the inside pitch. So now I'm going to sit in this position because I have to make this pitch inside. I cannot, that's not an inside the pitch. This is the inside pitch. The pitch is somewhere in this area. This is what an inside pitch is. So now my hands are here, my bat. So what's the first thing I do? I set my elbows in a position. This is point of contact. So look, see this rotation? This rotation is setting my hands up. So then I throw. Throw. Middle. Throw. Away. Throw. Throw. Low. Throw. Up. Throw. It's always, always a throw. Never, ever a pull. Never. So, two hands. What are some sports we could look at that they use two hands besides baseball? Tennis. Let's look at the hands. See the bottom hand? How it sets up first, then the top hand grabs the racket. Two different players, but same start and finish if they decide to use two hands. Look at the backhand of the tennis player with two hands. He's backhanding the ball, but he's not hitting it with his hands, he's hitting it with the racket. Why is the hand, if you look at a racket, I will show you what the racket looks like in 1 minute. But it's identical. If you look at the position, the hand's in a cocked position, and then it comes to the backhand position. Elbow is setting up on the one-handed preparation. And look at the triangle with the two hands, because they're controlling the hitting surface of the racket. Look at the hockey player. The first screenshot is preparation to hit it. The bottom hand is in front of the top hand. The second slide is showing the hands somewhat closer together, but the backhand is already behind the top hand, which means that the club face or the hockey stick is coming through the zone now. It's creating the straight line. And now look at the third one at point of contact. Look how far the front hand is in between from the backhand. And this right here is the same exact principle. I'm trying to educate you. I want you to comprehend it, understand what you're trying to learn, master, and practice with. The three qualities of success are this: you have to practice in order to get results to become confident. It's my job, or a coach's job, to teach you how to practice so you will have the results necessary to be a confident player. All confident players are good players. So if you're always playing, you're gonna make a lot of money if you're in professional baseball. So it's all about learning how to practice. And I think we get confused a lot in practice. We're more in repetition, and we're more in looking for one good result instead of 9 out of 10 good results. So let's go back to the tennis racket again. Tennis racket, the handle's shorter in this direction, wider in this direction. So you normally put your hand on it like this. Look how the flat surface is on this part of the hand. So if I put both of them, the only way I could get this racket, now look at the racket, the only way I can get it square is for the bottom hand to turn. Now, what does that mean with baseball or a baseball bat? Well, this is a round surface. If I don't use my hands correctly, I can still hit the ball because I'm hitting with a part of the surface. If I don't use my hands correctly with this, I will miss the ball. So how do we relate that to a baseball bat? Well, when I set up, I always did this. See the label? I always turn the label about 10 or 15 degrees towards the pitcher. Why? Because when I get down to here, see now I want to hit the ball in this area only. The more times I can hit the ball in this area, the flatter this surface is going to get. And this is the area that the bat will drive the ball. These areas are not made to hit with. They're part of the bat. They're extension of the bat. This is the area you're hitting with. Pitchers want us to hit the ball here, and they want to jam us. We have to learn how to control the hitting surface of a bat. So I want everybody to feel this bat has a flat surface on it. And if you put, I would put a piece of some paint or a piece of tape or something so you can identify where the flat surface is relative to your hand position. Now that I know and I'm aware of where that flat surface is or the area I'm trying to control, in order to understand how my hands operate, then that is a good training opportunity for you when you're in the cage. So put a piece of tape on this, learn how to use it, learn how to control the tape. So the tape is always going towards the baseball. The tape is not going over it. And again, I'm going to tell you another thing that I've used in training, a fly swatter. So a fly swatter is very similar to a tennis racket. If I try to hit a fly and I turn my hand, the fly gets out of the bottom. If I hit like this, there's area for the fly to get out of the top. But if I square it up, there's no room for him to get out. So it's all about, see the hand? straight, under, over. So you're hitting the bottom part of the bat, you're hitting the top part of the bat, you're hitting the middle of the bat. The middle of the ball, you're hitting the top of the bat or the bottom of the ball. You're hitting the top of the ball or the bottom of the bat. So take some time and think about this. Use these different ideas that are very, very similar to understand the action of the hands in order to create, I like to call it the physics, controlling the mass quick as possible. You have a pitcher that throws 90 miles an hour, and you have to create bat speed. So you have a fast ball and a fast bat will give you a great result. A fast ball and a slow bat is not going to give you a good result. I wasn't a real big person when I played in the major leagues, but I wanted to hit like a big person. So in order for me to drive the ball out of any part of the field, I had to understand and learn how to hit the pitch perfectly. If I hit the pitch perfectly, I could turn that ball around. I could thump the ball. I could make people have some attention, say, wow, you hit that ball pretty hard. But it wasn't because I'm all strong and big, it's because I had quick hands. I'm controlling the mass of the bat and put in behind the ball, so the direction of the ball is changed with all the mass behind it instead of below it or over it. So this is all part of quick hands, hand position. Okay, as you can see here, we have 3 different semicircles with dotted arrow lines indicating point of contact and direction of the ball. Every one of these semicircles start at a different location. So let me explain what this all means. You have the outside pitch. The black bars are, these right here are direction or path of the ball. These right here are point of contact on the away pitch, point of contact on the middle away pitch, point of contact on the middle end, and point of contact on the inside pitch. So now, I'm going to come back. Now, remember in the graph, remember in the position of the hands are the bottom of the semicircle. So let's just kind of start so you can see this. So if I'm sitting here, in order for me to hit this pitch to left field, I'm going to have to, this is the path of the baseball, and this is the angle the ball is going to go off the bat. So I'm going to have to get my hands in, like I told you before, and throw the bat here. Now this angle is going to create the direction of the ball. If it was at this angle, where's the ball going to go? Center field. But if I hit it at this position, like a hockey player, I'm going to drive that ball. But if I hit it like this, I'm pushing the ball. I don't want to do that. I want to drive it. So look at my hands. In the old days, if you see old pictures, hitters used to hit like this. And everybody thought that was kind of unusual, but it wasn't unusual because it forced the top hand and the bottom hand to work together. It took away from the body trying to control the bat and put the responsibility on the hands controlling the bat. And I really believe that that is a big problem today. Everybody thinks the bat is going, the body's going to help the bat get to the strike zone. That's incorrect. The fastest thing on your body is your hands. You have a fast pitcher and you have a quick bat, that will give you great results. So let's go back and look at this. This is going to be the middle end pitch. Now, instead of my hands starting here to hit the inside pitch, Now my hand's going to start here to hit this pitch. Middle in. Where's this ball going to go? Over the shortstop's head in left center field. Now we're going to go middle away. I move the tee back a little bit because I have to wait for the ball. So inside, middle in. Now, look where my hand's going to start. They're going to stop here. Throw. Middle in. They're going to stop here somewhere to throw. Inside. I'm going to stop here to throw. It's all one action. It's not boom, boom. It's together. It's the first gear and second gear. You have to have the passing gear. Your top hand is passing and control. You have to use your top hand. It is the most important hand in baseball when you're hitting. Now we're going to look at the away pitch. So now, if you remember the semicircle, now I'm going to have, because I'm going to hit this ball to right field. So now my hands and shoulders, my elbows got to push my in position. Now I'm going to hit it. Middle away, middle in, inside. All same swings, different stop locations, all transition action from the top hand and bottom hand exactly the same, only controlled in a different direction. Always the same swing. I like to give this thought process. I'm a quarterback in football, and I cannot move my feet because now I'm in the batter's box. If I was going to throw the ball to third base, all I have to do is turn my shoulders. Now my shoulders are lined up to third, and I can throw. If I'm going to throw the ball to the visiting dugout, am I going to throw it this way? Or am I going to not move my feet, turn my shoulders, now throw the same way I threw to third base? Same thing. So your upper body, I'll give you a little lesson here. When I'm waiting to hit, what pitch am I waiting to hit right now? When I'm sitting here, I'm waiting to hit the inside pitch. Why? Because my eyes are in this position. So my hand position is in the right position to hit the inside pitch because that's where my eyes are. So if it's not inside, which is easy to see, if it's away, now all I have to do is just look at my hands, just get my hands in a different position. So I like to call it a check mark. A swing, I don't like the word swing because I don't believe in baseball we make a swing. I believe it looks like a swing. So if I think of a check mark, strike zones below my eyes and away from me, straight, back, away, straight, back, inside, straight, back, low, straight, back. So the check mark is boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. It's the check mark. But when you do it quickly, it looks like a swing. So what does that mean? That means if we control the way we think, we can control the way we play. If we understand what we're trying to do, then we can develop the swing that will allow us to wait for the ball longer, see it better, have more time to be in a better position, and be the most aggressive we possibly can with our hands and the bat head, creating speed. So let's get to some drills. How do we learn or feel or understand? I've been trying to relate what hand action is with different actions. I've showed you positioning of hands in order to control the action. And now I want to give you some drills that will highlight the feeling or the understanding of where it feels or what it will feel like if you're doing it right. So we're going, this is a drill. The hitter's going to start off, and if you're a coach, father, or player, you can do this with your son, your team, or your friend. So I'm going to start off in this position. So if you can see me, I'm in this position. So now I'm going to take the bat and I'm going to walk back. And so the bat was in this position. Remember? I'm going to hold the bat. I'm going to hold it. Now I'm going to tell you to take a swing. And so you're going to sit here. So this is, you're going to, and this is what normally happens. If I'm kind of holding, I don't mean don't not allow them to go through the swing, but don't make it easy for them to go through the swing. Give them a little bit of tension so they can feel what they're doing. This is what 99.9% of everybody will do. They will go, and I'll stop them right here and I'll say, okay, evaluate your position. See where the bottom hand is? Is the palm, where's the palm? Up. The backhand, it's up. This is a pull. If you were in the ditch and I was going to pull you out, I'm going to pull you. This is a pull. It's a rotation with the body and the hands. You don't pull this way. You don't pull this way. You pull with your body. It's a pull action because you think that's the most leverage. So you basically say, that's incorrect. I want you to feel the hand. Okay, now I want them to use both hands to control whoever is holding the bat, this location. So now they're going to have to push it forward. So now look what happens. The hands are doing this. You're going, okay, so when you get here, pull the bat back. Pull the bat back, hold it, come through, pull the bat back. As I'm pulling the bat back, the player's trying to hold it so he can feel his wrist. Pull, push, throw. Don't pull. Only person who's pulling is who's holding the bat, pulling it back. The hitter is throwing with his hands to throw the head of the bat, or the hammerhead, or the racket. So, if you look at this diagram, look at the position of the bottom hand. See at the bit, that location is pull. So let's clarify something. There's a lot of confusion about palm up, palm down. See, there's palm up. Everybody starts palm up, palm down. Everybody. Why? Why do we start that way? In order for me to get behind the line of the ball, I have to get in this position to get behind it. But once I'm behind it, I'm set. Now I'm going to throw. Now look at this position. I'm not going to stay there. This hand will not move anymore. It's locked. That's locked. Look at this. This is what you want to happen. The top hand stays the same. The bottom hand is what changes, not the top hand. So don't get confused with palm up, palm down. It's only palm up, palm down at the beginning of the swing, but at the finish or contact or right before contact, there's a transition to throw the bat head. So if I was going to go, we go out to a field and I was going to run up and throw this bat, just let it go, my hands will finish right here. Everything's going to be here, not finish over here. So it's confusing because there is a follow through. After you hit the ball, the bat's not going to help the ball no more. The physics is over with. Mass and speed has changed directions. There's nothing else you can do. The only thing that can control direction is your top hand. Again, if I had a pencil on top of this bat, if I was going to draw a line on a wall, equal to this, I'd have to use my hands. I can't draw a line this way. Only way I can draw a line this way is to push it. Now watch me draw the line. Draw. Or something I used to use when I used to teach hitting. Get a tarp and swing into the tarp so you can feel the bat stay on the bat head, stay on the tarp as long as possible. It teaches the hands how to work. Okay. Okay, give you another drill. This is the second drill I want you to understand. We want the hitter to start at point of contact. Now, me as a coach, I'm going to come up and I'm going to grab the bat and I'm going to push it back and he's going to come back. And I'm going to push it, he's going to come back. I'm going to push it, he's going to come back. What is this going to do? This is going to do, it's going to complement, and let me get back on the camera for you. It's going to complement both hands working together. You're going to feel the pressure in your forearms. It's going to create hand strength. So the tension always is to develop. Develop what? The right action, to develop strength, to make it easier for you to do. It's going to develop awareness of how the hands can work and what's the necessary actions the muscles have to take to control the direction that you're trying to control. It's just going to bring a lot of awareness to you of something you have not been doing that you need to start doing. And I was asked this question not too long ago. When did I learn this? And I'd have to say in 1972, I was in AA baseball and I was playing pepper and I just used my hands. I just hit a low pitch like this and the ball jumped. And I'd have to say from that day forward, I was a major league prospect. And from after that, I played 14 years in the major leagues. I also led the Mets in home runs one year, led the Giants in hitting one year, but I'm not trying to tap myself in the back. I always thought I was a 300 hitter. The bottom line is I didn't hit 300, and that's my fault. And if I knew I had the potential, but I didn't have the understanding of how to control it on a consistent base. And I will also have additional classes to teach you more about the complete understanding of hitting, like swing path, how to control your percentages. And my two biggest skills when I was a young professional player was I could run good and I could hit. I mean, I could run good, but my arm and my hitting is what took me to the major leagues. See below, there's Bill Lasky, Mark Davis, and Gary Davenport, Brian Harper, Eric Ortega, all great instructors with major league experience over 15 to 20 years. We're all lifetime major league players and coaches. We all have the experience. I believe it requires to be a good teacher. And I honestly believe that it took me, I played 21 years as a player, and it took me another 14 years before I understood how to teach. I understood what hitting was about, and I understood, you know, what my best swing was, what my best week was, what my best year was, but it was very difficult to keep it under control because we expect it. And I'm gonna tell you one more thing. Remember, I told you this before. If you can control the way you think, you'll control the way you play. And theoretically, the strike zone's below your eyes and away from you, so your whole idea should be down and not out. If you're going out, you're going to the pitcher. If you're going down, you're waiting for the baseball. BigLeagueCoaching.pro is a great opportunity to learn higher education of baseball, secrets that require experience And I'm grateful that you came to this class. I hope you understood the connection with comprehension of how all these actions stay together. Quick hands, quick hands, quick hands, quick, backhand, frisbee, hammer, tennis, all the same. Now, when you put both of those together in baseball, you will be a better hitter. And I thank you for coming. It was my pleasure to teach you today.